Your uni, your team. From kick-off to the final whistle. This is the Shock Radio Sports Show.
Hello and welcome to the weekly sports show on Shock. We'll have all things Salford, Manchester United, City, both men's and women's. I'm joined by Tyler. How are you, pal?
I'm alright, mate. How are you?
I'm alright. It's been a long week. A lot of sport going on, international break.
Yeah.
So we're in a bit of a not the international break.
Again, that's what, the third one in the
Third
season?
one.
Yeah.
Good news. There's not one until I think the March 16th.
I don't want another one.
There shouldn't be another one really.
No.
There's not a tournament next year, is there?
No.
So
Unless it's like that Nations League final thing.
Yeah,
But we're not even going to be in that, I don't think.
But the Nations League is just a glorified friendly.
Yeah,
Anyway.
it is, yeah.
Shall we? We've both been watching Salford this week.
Yes.
Carl Robinson's side. Should we?
Yes.
Should we start with them?
Go on then.
So they played last night, but we'll start with the Saturday game.
Yeah, go on. You can talk about that.
I went to the game against Carlisle. It was freezing. They lost 1-0. Carlisle were 23rd in the league. Salford were 12th. And to be honest, Salford battered them. They battered them in the first half, but just couldn't get in the back of the net. I watched them the week before as well against Shrewsbury in the FA Cup, and Kellen Mai stood out and he was suspended, and he was just so brave going forward and so dynamic, and that's what they lacked, just that extra 10% in the final third. Carlisle defended from minute one as if they were winning 1-0 at the 97th minute.
Yeah.
And then they scored in the 88th. And to be fair, in the second half,
Was it against the run of play?
In the second half, Salford calmed down. Carlisle became a lot better.
Yeah.
But it was a brilliant header. Corner whipped in at the back post, and the lad just launches himself at the defender. He's like flying midair, just off the 6-yard line, heads it in, and it was great. Carlisle fans went mental.
Yeah, I bet.
Do you know what? It was good atmosphere. I'm going Salford games.
Yeah.
But they played Wolves and the 21s last night.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Trophy.
Yeah.
Won 3-2.
Yeah, it was a good game actually. Again, it was freezing. I was literally stood there. I was literally sat there shivering. Yeah. But yeah, the Salford won 1-0 up in like the I think it was like the 8th or 9th minute. Jez Davies with a header, towering header, great ball, great corner. Literally rose above everyone, good header. Then they doubled their lead in like the 11th.
Stockton?
Yeah, Stockton scored.
He's a normal striker.
Is he?
He's coming back from injury.
Yeah. A lot of the players were academy players, B team players. Some of them impressed me actually. Even though Wolves lost, some of them impressed me. I think the two centre backs for Wolves were really, even though they conceded 3, I think both centre backs showed composure, power, stuff like that. It was a bizarre few minutes in injury time. The assistant coach got sent off for Salford because he punched the ball.
Punched the ball?
Well, he was going out for a throw in and he punched it back into the stands and he got sent off.
Oh.
But Wolves had 2 penalties in the second half. Matt Young saved. Yeah, he saved both, but for the second one, he saved. Yeah.
Nothing you can really do about that.
No, but great game actually. It was a really good game. It kind of ever since when that first penalty for the first half was a bit like Salford's dominating, but in the end of the first half, Wolves were kind of growing in. But after that penalty in the second half, the first one for Wolves, then the game was quite exciting. It was quite good actually.
Salford have got Doncaster next.
Yeah.
Away. Doncaster are 4. Salford are
Tough
13.
game.
Yeah, it will be tough, but it's the same with League One and Championship and League Two. In the Premier League, really.
Yeah,
especially in the sales stage, really tight.
Yeah.
If you can just pick up points here and there, you'll be laughing for the end of the season. Salford, to be fair, I know they lost at the weekend, but they've been in good form.
Yeah.
They've run beaten in 5, I think.
Yeah.
Which is good. They got through. They beat a team above them in the FA Cup as well. So Carl Robinson, I don't think he'll be displeased with.
And it was a good. They played really well last night. So, and even that's just the academy and B team. So he knows he's got players to come on and give an impact if the first 11 aren't up to scratch. But yeah, you shouldn't be too bothered about the result on the weekend. It's a one-off.
Yeah, not really.
It's one of those games where when you play a team below you fighting for relegation, they're going to be all backs to the wall. It's one of those hard games actually.
Got a few decent players in there.
Yeah.
Centre half who played the majority of the season for Wrexham last year, and they're underperforming where they should be.
Mm-hmm.
Like they defended really well today, but they offered nothing in attack.
Yeah.
Yesterday on Saturday, should I say. they defended really well, but offered nothing. But apart from that header in the last couple of minutes.
I mean, that's what you get when you. I mean, even though they might be underperforming, they're still in a relegation battle. So you know what you. I mean, obviously, as a United fan, when we play teams within that place in the table, you know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
So I think they shouldn't be too bothered about the loss. Again, it's what November, so
There's still
there's
plenty of
still
seasons.
loads of time to play. And they're still in a good run of form. So hopefully they can get a result on the weekend because that's the opposite. They might be the ones with all backs to the wall
Yeah.
defending. So just gotta be stubborn.
Yeah. Big good game against Doncaster. Keep your eyes on that.
Yep.
Should we move on to Manchester United?
Go on then.
Yeah. As usual, quite a week at United, really. No, what's happened? Nothing really.
We beat Leicester and then
Bit,
Amarim came in.
Amarim came in, yeah, on so United beat Leicester on Sunday,
Mhm.
3 o'clock kickoff. Good game, needed win,
Yes.
and a comfortable performance. I think that was more
Yeah.
needed.
After that, after the 2-goal lead, I think Leicester came into the game in the end of the first half a bit more, but
Yeah.
pretty much.
Clean sheet, you
Yeah.
can't complain on that.
Can't.
Bruno was a standout.
Yeah.
Scored a great first goal. Brilliant assist by Ahmad as well.
Mhm.
Nice cheeky back heel, but Bruno tucks it away
Yeah.
into the far
Great
corner.
finish, innit? Yeah.
Yeah. And then the second one, it's gone down as an own goal, but Bruno,
Yep.
does it come off his head or is it his knee?
I
It
think
comes
it's
off the
his.
defender last though.
I think it's his thigh.
His thigh.
Yeah, and then it
It's
obviously
gone down as
hits.
is it a
Yeah.
Christensen own
Yeah.
goal?
Yeah.
Which is a shame he's not got two, but United got twice. And then
Yeah.
the pick of the bunch was Garnachos,
Oh.
really, who got pelters this season because his form's been up and down.
Yeah.
His passing hasn't been amazing. I went watching him against Pauk.
Yeah.
He's,
So did I. Yeah.
he's passing in the first half especially just the little 5 10
Yeah.
yard
It's
passes in the box.
when the defender overlaps him when he's coming down the wing. It was like
It's that pass that's
Yeah.
letting him down. I think
Yeah.
people are getting annoyed at, and some idiot gave him abuse before.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I saw that. It's
Before that game,
awful.
and then he scores a belter at the weekend.
He needs that.
Yeah, he does.
Um.
But he should feel like he said he didn't feel like he could celebrate, and that shouldn't be allowed.
You know. You should.
Scored a belter, left hand side of the box, whips it far right corner.
Great finish.
Keeper's nowhere near.
No.
Great finish.
You love to see it. Especially with the Strul. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I haven't been his best supporter this season, but as a United fan, you expect your players to play well, and when they don't play well, you don't abuse them like the other. I'm not even going to count him as a fan because that's awful, but you're gonna give criticism to him. I wanted Ahmad to start over him, and I think Van Nistelrooy made the right decision to start Ahmad. And when's Garnacho best when he comes on as a sub in like the 60th, 70th minute? And look, I'd rather see both of them play well, and then either two come off the bench and make an impact, than both of them struggling, and you think about which one to start. I'd rather, well, it'll be Amarim now, but I'd rather the manager have too many options to start rather than too little because of how good the players are playing well. I'd rather Garnacho and Ahmad both be on it because then it'll be good for the manager to pick and choose.
There's nothing wrong with competition for
There
places.
isn't, no.
If you look at what we're doing with centre half, we've got like 3 or 4 going into 2 places,
Yeah.
which is good.
Yeah.
And the hardest match of the week should be training where the team gets
Exactly.
decided.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's been the case at United.
No. Well, hopefully under Amarim.
Yeah, should we talk about Amarim?
Yeah, let's talk. Yeah.
He flew to Manchester on Monday. So I'll say 11,000 people tracked that flight, the most tracked flight ever, which is it's weird, really. He came to Sporting. Did you see the result that he had in his last game against Braga?
Yes, I did. Yeah. Yeah.
2-0 down,
Yeah.
and then they win 4-2, 89th minute and 94th minute.
What for both? What for third and fourth?
It was brilliant.
Yeah, you love to see that send off from his
Yeah,
players.
they love him over there.
Yeah.
They know exactly what they've got as a manager. They don't want to get rid of him, and the players know as well.
Yeah.
But they're 11 unbeaten at the minute, which is
Yeah.
good going.
Are they second or third in the Champions League table? They're somewhere like that.
I'm not sure.
I think Liverpool are the team that have they've not lost yet. But I think in that you've got Sporting on 10. I think they're on 10.
I'll have a look. I have a feeling that they will be towards the top because I think
They are.
because I think
I think they've won 3 and drew 1.
yes, they have.
Yeah.
They're second. They've
Yeah. So
won
they're
3, drew 1.
having a great season.
Beat City 4-1, didn't they?
Yeah.
They've got Arsenal next. But Amram at United can't officially start 'cause he's not got his permit,
Mhm.
but he met everyone who's not gone away on international
Yesterday,
break. Yesterday.
I love seeing
in
I love
Mulcahy.
seeing them pictures. Ugh,
Yeah.
it was great.
I just think you can't judge him from now until May. If it goes completely wrong, then obviously take be critical. But there's no point going, oh, he's rubbish. He's this, he's that. He's just come in the middle of a season after.
Will United fans be doing that though? They will.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Um,
Classic. You will. Of course.
but yeah, this season's a bit of a write-off, I think.
It's not.
I mean, as in the way I mean, as in Amram's case, it's like this season doesn't count. I don't think for him.
Yeah, for Amram it doesn't count, but it's not a write-off.
Oh no,
United
100%.
is at 13th.
What? 4 points off fourth or fifth?
Third. 4 points off third. Goal difference is in our
Yeah.
favour. We don't score enough goals.
No. Still in the Carabao Cup. I mean, FA Cup hasn't started yet,
Still in
obviously.
all competitions.
Yeah.
And then we've got Adam Skin's very own Ipswich away next. Well, I say next week after the international break.
Be a tough game.
Old coach Kieran McKenna. I'm liking Ipswich at the minute. They're scoring goals and they're getting results. Liam Delap's.
Yeah,
Been good.
yeah.
Beat Spurs at the
Good,
weekend.
great win for them against Spurs.
Yeah, the first win.
First win, yeah.
After 5
I don't know why. I have a bit of a soft spot for Ipswich. I don't know why it's because of Kieran McKenna, but I don't know. Like when the relegation teams come up from the promoted team from the Championship, I tend to have a favourite, and Ipswich is probably my favourite this year. I don't know why.
I think they've got enough to stay.
Yeah.
They've got Sammy Smaddox from Blackburn. He's brilliant.
Great signing.
Blackburn. They've got Liam Delap.
Murray Hutchinson.
Yeah. Got a few just decent, solid players.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that'll set them quite well.
Yeah.
Also, did you see this yesterday? Bruno saved someone on a plane.
Yes. Hey, that's my captain.
Was a bloke having a panic attack and Bruno?
I think so, yeah, and he passed out, I think, yeah.
Passed out.
Yeah.
Bruno just made sure. Got the attention of stewardesses, made sure he's alright.
What a lovely man.
On an
Great
easy,
player,
on an
great
easy
man.
jet flight as well.
Great player, great man.
So
That's my captain right there.
yeah. Right, so next up, we'll be talking about Man City, but first, it is this. Hello and welcome back. This is the Salford Sports Show. We've got Man City up next. If you've missed us, we've talked about Salford and United already. Where have you been? But City, in a bit of a
pickle here, aren't they? Yeah.
Lost 4 previous games. First time it's ever happened to Pep. 2-1 to Brighton most recently, and really good game.
Great game.
Oh well, I say really good game. I watched the first half and I fell asleep on the couch.
I was watching it in my bedroom on my little Sky Go on my phone. Yeah, it was a great game that.
Brighton under Hertzler are playing some nice football. Danny Welbeck is playing some really good stuff.
Yeah.
He's chipping in with the golden assists all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They keep popping up with, I say random players. They're not random players. I just don't take an interest in Brighton.
No.
But Baliba played number 6 in a 2-man pivot. Brilliant against City. What is the issue at the minute with City?
Rodri. Yeah. Rodri's a huge miss. I think you can say De Bruyne as well because he hasn't been on it. I think he's been injured. He's been injured the past couple of seasons. He's been quite injury prone, but Rodri's a huge miss for them. I think who plays in that spot? Is it Kovacic now?
Kovacic, yeah. But the way that they play, they shove a defender into midfield, don't they? So whoever's it's normally like Oscar Bob and Kovacic or John Stones.
Yeah, John Stones, yeah.
Rodri. So it's quite fluid the way they play, but he's a big loss. Just won the Ballon d'Or. He is their best player.
Yeah, 100%.
I think the problem with City is in like previous years their plan A was excellent, and if that didn't work, they had a solid plan B.
But you think they have no plan B?
I think that they're so used to their plan A of Haaland just working and bagging and bagging and bagging.
Yeah.
The plan B has sort of been neglected because, like you look last year, the amount of times that even Rodri as well, he scored some crucial goals. The amount of time they get saved by these late goals, it's not sustainable.
No.
And I just think they've got they've lost Alvarez. They've not got another natural striker.
No.
And the thing with Haaland is he's rapid.
Do you think he should do more though?
I think what Haaland does.
But right now, do you think he should be doing more?
No, he sweeps up the chances that City create, What more do you
So you think
want him to do? They're not a team where like when they had Aguero and Silva where they're a bit more
yeah,
dynamic. They're just gonna batter you on the
yeah,
ball. Um,
fair.
I just think they need another striker
Mhm.
because
What like someone completely opposite to
yeah,
Haaland?
someone completely different.
Yeah.
Because when you're losing or drawing,
Mm,
roll the dice and go for
yeah.
it. Haaland's excellent. You've got to give him his credit, but what he doesn't offer is obvious. He's not involved in the build-up play.
Yeah.
He's brilliant on like the counter, but it's rare that City get on the counter. He's brilliant in the air. He's brilliant in the box. His finishing is
I
superb.
think once you've sussed him out as a defender, I'm not saying it's easy to mark him, but
I doubt it
if he
is.
doesn't have his like, I think especially when City don't provide him the service as much.
Well, I don't know about that. When he's on it, he's on it.
No, of course, but I think when he's not on it,
I'm not gonna lie.
I
I
think the
don't.
defenders for Brighton played really well handling Haaland, even though he's
Is it
scored.
Van Heck?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I don't have all the stats on Haaland, but what I do know is that when my FPL does bad, it's because Haaland hasn't scored. That's what I know. Um, they've got Tottenham next game at home, which they lost them in the cup, but
Yeah.
at the same time, it's the cup. Take it with a
Yeah.
especially the EFL Cup. Take it
Mm.
with a pinch of salt.
And Spurs have just come off a disappoint. They haven't been playing. Tottenham haven't been playing well recently, really.
Spurs are so up and down.
Yeah.
They are the
Mhm.
Robin Hood at the minute.
Yeah.
They beat Villa and City
Yeah.
and then lost to Ipswich. It's like yeah, I I enjoy watching Spurs. I think I'd have a heart attack if I was a Spurs fan.
Oh, 100%.
They're
Oh.
so they're just so gung ho and 100% going for it. It's mental.
Yeah.
It's brilliant football to watch
Mhm. But as a fan, you'd.
because
Oh
you are
gosh.
because was it Brighton the other week where they were 2-0 up and lost 3-2? That was an excellent
Yeah.
game. That was
Yeah,
an
it was. Yeah.
excellent game.
Yeah.
And they're just so they'll either score 4 or they'll concede 2 and they'll yeah, concede 2 or
Great for a
3.
neutral.
Yeah, it was brilliant for a
Yeah.
neutral. They're second in the league City, 5 points off the top. Is the season salvageable with the way Liverpool are playing? You've got Arsenal who are in terrible form. Chelsea aren't consistent enough. The Chelsea are a bit hit and miss. But I'm liking what they're doing. Is the season salvageable for City in the league? The cups we'll talk about in a minute, but the league first.
It's a. Is it early days?
Well,
Yeah.
we're only 11,
Yeah.
11 games in, 12 games in.
I think it is. But I mean, at least we've now established that it's going to be a two-horse race. I don't think Arsenal have the. I don't think Arsenal will be in that mix this season.
Arsenal have really changed from
Yeah.
a nice silky footballing side to one that is very much score and we're going to defend like our
Yeah.
lives depend on it.
Um. So I don't think Arsenal are going to be in it this year. Chelsea are Chelsea. I mean, yeah. So
We're not in it.
I think it's going to be a two-horse race between City and Liverpool. But the way Liverpool are playing,
They're just consistent and they're getting results.
yeah.
And they don't look exhausted, if that makes sense. Like
No.
they're not really getting out of
Yeah.
second or third gear. They
I
just,
think Arnold Schlott's doing I've done an amazing job.
he's hit the ground running and
Yeah.
fair play to
But
him.
do I think it's salvageable? Yes. Yeah. Because it's City, you can't really write City off. I don't
No,
think ever.
they've got that like February, March to them
Exactly. Literally.
where
Yeah.
no matter what happens,
Because
they
that's what
just
happened last
always
season.
win.
Because Arsenal were first for ages,
Yeah,
and then
it was the gap
out
12 points at one
something
point.
silly. It was like 12 at Christmas or something, right? And at that point, you thought, oh no. But then it was like ever so like slowly and stuff. City were creeping.
That's what champions do
Yeah.
though. You can never write them off.
No, never. But
And this will be the fifth time in a row. I think keeping the desire for Pep that's his main issue at
yeah.
the minute. Keeping the
Mhm.
desire to win the
Yeah.
fifth one. But I don't think you can write them off.
No, you can't write City off.
And I think Liverpool they've had a fair few injuries to be fair to them.
Mhm.
Rodri especially, but I just think
I
Liverpool.
just still think Rodri's going to be a huge miss because
Yeah,
you're not getting him back this season.
no, you know.
So it's like with
Well,
injuries, you're like at least he's coming back. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah,
with that injury, it's like you're not coming back.
no,
So they're gonna have to find a solution sooner rather than later.
yeah,
They can't just wait about for Rodri to come back because he's not coming back.
no. It's one of them, innit? Right.
Yeah.
Should we move on to the City women? And then we'll do United Mark Skinner's
Go on
United
then.
women after.
Yeah.
City women are the opposite of Pep's. City, they're unbeaten in 5. They won in the Champions League 2-0 against Hammarby the other day. They've got a tricky Champions League group.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've got Real Madrid in it.
They beat Barcelona a few. Well, that was ages ago. I don't know why I'm saying that.
The City women, the the top of the league. They've got a game. They've played a game more than Chelsea. Chelsea are battering everyone. But they've got Barcelona in the group. Sorry, not Real Madrid. My bad.
They beat Barcelona though.
Yes, they did. They're top of the Champions League group. They're top of the league.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, Chelsea have got a game in hand
Yes.
on them. Only 1 point behind, and their next game is Chelsea. Big game. Early in the season, big game. But unbeaten in 5, consistent. They're up there. Chelsea have been the ones to beat for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
And they've just got to keep going.
Yep.
And to be honest, they're doing quite well.
They're doing everything right at this point.
Yeah.
It's just whether Chelsea are going to be Chelsea
And just
and
sweep
just
it
batter
up.
everyone.
They're doing well in the
as much.
Champions
Yeah.
League though.
Yep.
Barcelona have they still got Bon Mati?
Yes, they do. Yeah.
Am I mistaken there?
No, they do.
Good.
Didn't she win the Ballon d'Or again?
Possibly.
She won back to back.
Possibly.
I
Well,
think there was an what's her name now? Alexis Putellas. She won the last 2 back to back. And then Bon Mati's won last year and this year.
yeah, both midfielders have got
Yeah.
7 and 4 goals between them, which is quite good. Barcelona as well, good competition. They sit top of the women's La Liga by 5 points above Real Madrid. And Real Madrid and Barcelona play each other next, so
Ooh.
2 top of the table
Yep.
clashes in women's football. Mark Skinner's United, 3 draws in the past 3 games after a really good start. They
Mhm.
drew 0-0 against Shock Sports' very own Jodie Keane's Villa. They've drawn the past 3 games. They're doing all right. Doing all right.
Still unbeaten. I mean, they've got 3 draws and 3 draws aren't 3 points, but
Sat
still
5th in the table.
still unbeaten.
Yeah. I think there's United.
I mean, if they win their game in hand, they go up to 3rd. So when you've got 2 powerhouses in City and Chelsea in the women's game, 1st and 2nd, especially for a team like United who haven't probably been like, for example, you've got Arsenal. They're on the same points as Arsenal. When you think of women's football, Arsenal's up there. Arsenal will always be up there. But for someone like Man United, like they didn't make a women's team for ages. I remember
No, it's very recent.
very recent. So
Mark Skinner is doing quite well. They've not had the investment,
and especially when they've lost players as well in the last couple of
lost
years.
Captain Katie Zellen.
Yep.
Lost Mary Earps.
They lost Russo a year
to
ago.
national. So they've lost key players, and not well. I'm not an expert on the women's game.
No.
Not replaced them with the appropriate signings. Like Russo was a big miss for United.
Yeah.
Playing with Elatoon.
Mm-hmm.
And not replaced her with a player of the impact or stature. Elatoon's not hit the ground running as she has done past couple of years, but United is still playing well. And she's still a cog in Mark Skinner's team. And they are playing well. They just need to score a few more goals, like a 0-0 against Villa. If they can nick that, and they've got a game in hand as well.
Yeah.
They'll be up there.
I think it's positive. I think.
Yeah, of course it is.
Look, 12 points from 6 games. Again, if like I said before, if they win the game in hand, they could literally go 3rd.
Yeah.
When you want to strive to be better than City and Chelsea, but you've got to build it in blocks. So like it starts with finishing behind them, establishing yourself as that 3rd best team in the league, and then going for City, and then let's say City are 2nd best.
Yeah.
Try and go build. There's no point. I mean, obviously, you wanna win titles, but especially for a recently established team like Man United's women, you've just got to be. I think that's what they've been doing great. I think they've just been slowly, baby steps to get better.
Yeah,
and I think this
won the FA Cup last year.
Exactly.
They can kick on from
exactly.
That. Brilliant.
Great. That was a great final as well. They smacked Tottenham, but I think just keep building those blocks up slowly, and I think that starts with getting over that hump over Arsenal, establishing yourself as that 3rd best team in the league, and then eventually probably turning the title into a 3-horse race, and then trying to get better than one of the best 2.
Yeah.
It's just slow.
I think
That's
the
what it
worst thing is about United women is they play the games in the league, not Manchester.
You know what? I'd actually. You know what? I wouldn't mind going to a few United women's games. But I'm not trekking to Lee.
Lee is near where I actually live,
Yeah.
and
No, I'll pass.
why do they not play the games in Manchester?
Yeah.
You know, it's beyond me. It's one of them. Next up we'll have England, but first we have this. Right. Hello and welcome back. This is the sports show. Where have you been if you've missed us so far? We've covered all things sport in Manchester so far, and now we're going to talk about a bit about England. Third international break of the year. They've got Greece tomorrow. Lee Carsley still in charge.
Yep.
Um,
It's his last international. It's his
yeah,
last one,
last
right?
international
Yeah.
break. Thomas Tuchel, whose name I just forgot. He takes charge in January. Um, they've had 8 players withdraw,
Yeah.
I'm sure, which isn't great.
No.
But like Tino Livramento's in the squad, good player.
Morgan Rogers, I think,
Yeah,
deserved. I mean, look, it's the Nations League, which is, and we're not even. I don't even think we're in the top division.
no,
So
we're
like, it's just a friendly, and I think we're on. I think we're on 9 points, and the team in second's on 3. So I think, especially in this camp, it's Lee Carsley's last camp. For me, I would have liked him
we're
to.
second in the group
Oh, are we?
behind Greece.
How
That
many points are Greece on?
Greece are on 12, we're on 9. Ireland are third and Finland are fourth.
So does the top 2 get promoted, or is it the first?
It's a good question. I don't know how the Nations League works because it is just a glorified friendly. Right. So first in the group gets promoted.
And then second goes through playoffs, right?
Yes, and then third goes for a relegation playoff. Then fourth just gets relegated.
So look, we're going to be in the playoff for the top division anyway, regardless of the results, unless we somehow lose against. Do we play Ireland after Greece?
Let me have a look.
Either way, we're playing one of the bottom 2 anyway. So we're probably most likely going to be in the playoffs or promoted. So I
Yeah.
think
We've got Ireland. So it's Greece on Tuesday at 7:45, and Ireland on Sunday at 5 o'clock.
for me, I would have seen Lee Carsley bring some of the youth in. He began to do that with the additions of like Lewis Hall and Gibbs White
Is he not doing that though with some of his selections?
yeah, but he's still picking like. I mean, obviously you're going to pick the players, but I think because they're withdrawing, you're kind of taking that chance away from players that would have loved being in there. I think more Forest players. I think Callum Hudson-Odoi should have been in the squad.
Callum Hudson-Odoi is playing really well.
I don't know. I think if he knew, I mean, obviously if he knew players were going to withdraw, and especially with there being 8 players, I think he should have used that to promote some of the youth, even just to give them one cap for England, something they cherish for life. I think you picking players that are probably going to withdraw, especially players like Phil Foden and Cole Palmer who have withdrawn from the last camp. I think for me, it would have been better to bring in some players who probably wouldn't have had a chance.
Yeah, and treat it as a bit more of a dead rubber and not that serious.
It's your last camp. Like, you just go out, do what you want.
Who's not in the squad then that you think deserves to be in the squad?
Who came in due to the?
So
I think for me, the main one's Callum Hudson-Odoi.
yeah, Callum Hudson-Odoi is playing well at Forest. Forest are doing really well
Yep.
as well. The sat defending is excellent. And Chris Wood is scoring all the goals for them. So they're a bit of a once Chris Wood stops, which I think is sooner than later because
Yeah.
he's never been a 20-25 goal man in the Premier League. I think it'll be a bit.
I do like the idea of Morgan Rogers coming in. I think he's been great for Villa.
Scored a good goal the other day. So the announced squad had Henderson, Pickford, Ramsdale, Gay, Conser, Trent, Colwill, Lewis, Walker, Hall, Howard, Bellis. Then you had Conor Gallagher, Rice, Palmer, Gibbs White, Gomez, Foden, Bellingham, Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones first call up, I think.
That's a good call up.
And then the forwards were Grealish, Gordon, Kane, Madueke. I'm liking Madueke at Chelsea. Saka, Watkins, and Dom Solanke. And
And then
8 have withdrawn
yeah,
as
so
well.
that's what Colwill, Palmer, Rice, Saka, Foden, Grealish, and Alexander-Arnold and Aaron Ramsdale. I like how he's brought in James Trafford.
Yeah, Trafford's replaced
Um,
Ramsdale.
then you got Jared Bowen come in, Branthwaite.
I like Bramthwaite.
Yeah, I do like.
He's playing.
Yeah.
He's playing in an Everton side that's not amazing, but he's
Mhm.
the standout in them.
Yeah.
He's a left-sided centre half, which is rare, and he's good on the ball, good in the air. He's a perfect defender for what you want nowadays.
Yeah. But look, I mean, it's hopefully we can get some good results. Hopefully, some of these players. I think Harwood Bellis is a good young player. Lewis Hall was being playing well for Newcastle. You got Rico Lewis, he's a great player. Angel Gomez has
I
been
like
doing
Angel
well.
Gomez.
Yeah,
He's coming through the academy. He was an out-and-out number 10, but
yeah.
he's become this sort of like 6'8"
Mhm.
hybrid
Yeah,
that isn't a defensive one. He's brilliant at linking because
yeah. He's
he's got
really comfortable on the ball.
yeah, his dribbling's amazing because
Mhm.
no offense to the lad, he's so small that his center of gravity is so close to the ground. He can just whip
Yeah,
around and pick up the ball from the defenders, pass it to the midfield, and then just move on. And
yeah,
he's brilliant. He helps progress that midfield. Come to the next tournament, I think there's an issue with do you we saw forcing all the best players in
yeah. We
at the
did.
past
Yeah,
tournament,
yeah.
and I think it's do you do that again or do you have a balanced squad?
I think Tuchel's going to go with a balanced squad.
You've
You've got an experienced manager now, like Tuchel, who literally won the Champions League with a Chelsea team that, in my opinion, should not have won the Champions League. I don't think they were. I don't think they were a great. Um, they were a good team. They were good enough to beat City to win the Champions League. But at the start of the season, especially with Frank Lampard being in charge, would you expected them to win the Champions League? Probably not.
I
So
think you've got to go with a balanced squad.
yeah, 100%.
Looking at that midfield, you've got. I think Angel Gomez has put himself in that contention now. Of you've got Rice, Mainu, Bellingham, Foden, Wharton, Gomez. So there's 6 there. Sorry, 6 midfielders that are going to go into free spaces.
You think Wharton's going to go to the next tournament?
I don't know what I think. If I was England manager and I wanted to win a tournament, I'd go with probably a midfield of Mainu, Wharton, Rice,
Really,
or Mainu, Wharton, Bellingham.
really?
Yeah, because it's balanced.
Yeah.
Apart from physicality in Wharton and Mainu, that midfield, what does it not have? Because because say you have midfield like that, then you can
If you
accommodate.
for free of Rice, Mainu, and Wharton, who plays the 10?
You don't have to have a
You
10.
don't have a 10. All right, that's
No,
fair.
no, but by having a midfield like that, you can accommodate Trent.
Yeah.
You can accommodate having a front three of maybe 3 attackers who aren't tracking back, or maybe this might be daft. Maybe you play Harry. Harry Kane loves to drop deep. Maybe play Harry Kane as a 10, and you go with two. You go with two
That isn't. You know what?
strikers
I
off him.
wouldn't.
You
That's not
go
a bad shout, actually.
you go with 2 strikers off him. So in theory, you're playing 3 strikers, but they're
Yeah.
narrow, and you fullbacks hold the width, and you play a combative working midfield, and then you've always got Bellingham, who can play the 10 off Foden. There's options, but for me, you've got to go with a fluid midfield,
Yeah. Yeah.
and a team that has balance. You can't shoe on Saka, Trent, Foden, Bellingham, Kane, Watkins into one
That's
team.
why we. That's. I think that's why we lost the Euros. I think.
And we're saying this, we forgot about Palmer as well. He's
I.
amazing.
I think he's great. I think. I think he has to start for England in the World Cup.
Yeah,
If he's going the way he's going and he keeps it on for next season and then obviously into the World Cup the year after.
he's England's most consistent player.
Yeah.
He's brilliant.
Yeah.
I love watching him.
Mhm.
He makes it look so effortless, and
Yes.
he
Because
just
he's not the strongest, he's not the fastest, but he's just so smart on the ball. He knows how to get out. Like I think even the United game, I think there was one where he had Rashford and Casemiro both on him, and he literally goes past Rashford like he's not there. Rashford's considerably faster than Palmer,
yeah.
but he does a silky move to get past Rashford. Obviously, Casemiro is going to come in 8 guns blazing, so he comes in, knocks it past Casemiro. So I think Palmer should be starting in the World Cup. But then who you gonna replace him? Who you gonna take off?
You've got to take someone out to put past.
Exactly. So Tuchel he has the most talented England squad that I've seen in my lifetime personally.
It's a happy problem.
It is a happy
I
problem,
like to say.
and
It's
at
a
least
good issue
yeah,
to have.
and we've got one of the best available managers out there to handle that problem.
Yep.
So it's looking great for England. But yeah, for this I mean for this for this international whoa for this international break, you just want players to play well.
Yeah.
Get the form up. You want Bellingham to play well in this tournament because he's not been great for Madrid. Obviously, he scored a goal the other day, but I think you just want some of these players to perform really well and kickstart their season off. I mean, obviously for me, we have no United players in the squad, so
Second time that's happened in
well,
recent memory. The first time since, the second time since the 70s, I'm sure,
something, yeah.
which is
So,
mental.
but yeah, you want to see us just. I mean, you want to see England win, whether it's a friendly or not. You want to see them win and play well. So that's all you really want. And it's Lee Carls's last, so yeah,
That's all you want.
yep.
Perfect. So, this has been the sports show. You'll catch us later on, 8 o'clock. We've got basketball. And that has been us. Thanks for joining us,
Thank you
Tyler.
very much, guys.
All right. Perfect. Thanks for being here.
No worries.